Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hamster Business Show. My name is Chris Pastrana, your host, and today I'm here with Navid Namazi from Metamorphosis. Yeah, Metamorphosis Media. Oh my God, it was awful. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Chris?
Good. So let's get a little bit of history on you. Like, tell me about yourself and what you do.
So some history about myself. I've always been taking photos ever since, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Always been playing around with cameras, but the first time I ever held a video camera was when I was 8 years old. And ever since then, I've been hooked with like videos and making videos and telling stories through videos and stuff like that. Later on, when I got to high school, I got more interested in videos and filmmaking as a career. So I looked into colleges and careers and stuff like that for film.
Mm-hmm.
After high school, I got into Full Sail University in Florida, where I got my bachelor's in film and my master's in entertainment business.
Okay.
And ever since then, I've been working with different people here and there, that working on feature films, commercials, music videos, concerts, conventions, and all that stuff.
That's pretty cool. Because, yeah, just looking on your website, which is pretty impressive looking. There's some stuff on there that's actually pretty good. Like, well, I don't say actually pretty good. It's pretty good. And some of the music videos yeah, came off a little wrong. Yeah, but some of it's really good. Like, the music videos are pretty good, and I like it. Like, looks like there's a lot of, at least, experience there.
Yeah, I've been working in the industry for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
I've been working for about 8 years, so yeah, almost 10 years.
Okay. Now, did you say you were from this area to begin with?
Yeah, I was born in Massachusetts, grew up in Derry.
Okay.
Derry, New Hampshire.
Yeah, and then cool. Because I've heard of Full Sail for that program. Because I say this a lot, and I kind of laugh. When I got into what I do, I have no background like you do, like at all. So it was just kind of funny to jump in. People ask me all the time, like, what is your schooling? And I'm like, none.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty funny. So
one of the funniest things, it was messed up at the time, but when I look back now, it's funny. One of the funny things that happened after I graduated college, some of the people I was working with on set, like some of the more experienced older people I was working with, they said, you don't need a degree to work in this field. You just need to jump in, meet the right people, just get some experience. Like a lot of the older people, like back in the day, they said they started by just like cleaning up the set after the day and all that stuff. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a lot of that actually. I think Harrison Ford had the same beginning. He was just like a carpenter or something, a stagehand, and kind of got into it. So that's pretty cool. But it's also good to know like early on what you want to do, because you said you kind of started early, and then you just went from there, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's something that I knew I was good at and something I wanted to do, but at the time, like when I was trying to figure out what to do for college, I was like, what do I want to do? What can I do? And what is there to do as a career that I'm actually good at? So I'm like, that fit all three criteria.
Yeah, because that's a fun spot to talk about too, because sometimes what we're good at and what we like to do are very different. So it's good that you found something that you like and you're good at, and that makes a good career choice. Yeah. Because if you don't, it kind of gets a little crazy. What was I gonna say? Oh, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about what you do. Like you were just saying, the music videos and stuff like that. Like, kind of what goes into that, and like a little bit of the process and your business, and talk about that stuff.
So, right now I'm focusing a lot on narrative storytelling, kind of like feature films, short films, stuff like that. But I'm also focusing on small business clients. So if they need like commercials, or if there's an artist that needs a music video or some kind of like highlight video for social media, I'm focusing on that stuff as well. For the music videos, I've done music videos in the past. And I usually team up with either the director, or if I'm the one producing or directing it, I usually work with the artist to figure out what the idea is that they're looking for, what kind of story that they want to portray, like what the song is about, what their vision is, and then try and portray that onto the screen.
Okay. Pretty cool. I'll say, do you have No, I shouldn't start with problems with New Hampshire businesses. I think I was talking to Hannah about this, and some services, and if you were in a place like Miami or LA or New York, they are sought after more because businesses for some reason just understand they're kind of needed. Do you kind of run into that problem up here in New Hampshire? Because when I did a little bit of video production a while ago, but I stopped because one, it's just not my thing, and it takes a lot of time that I want to put into it when I could be doing this. But second, businesses don't seem to realize they need it, and they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Do you kind of run into those?
Oh yeah. I primarily work in Boston. That pretty much answers that
Yeah, I
question.
gotcha.
But yeah, one like I've worked on weddings as well in the past. I've worked on other productions and other shoots as well, and common thread on some of the lower level productions or some of the events and stuff like that is they want to pay low price, but they want to get all this stuff in the package.
Yeah.
But if you're paying this much, you get this much.
Yeah. Maybe a little more, but generally not much.
Yeah, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Like, we can do a lot. Like, not just me, but there's other video people out there that are just as experienced, less experienced, more experienced. There's everybody out there. Like, video is very, it builds up whatever you have. Like, photos deteriorate over time. You don't always open up a photo album.
Yeah.
You open up a photo album either if you're nostalgic about something, if you're depressed, or if you're excited about something. You don't open it up every day, but videos always pop up by friends, Facebook, this, that, or the other. Videos are always around. So it's good to have video incorporated into like weddings, because weddings, like what I was trying to get to with weddings, photographers and videographers are the first ones that get cut out with weddings, because I have a cousin that does that stuff. I don't need that. Or that's too expensive. Why are you charging that much?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And it's a good thing to have, but it's the first thing that gets cut.
Yeah. Again, when I was talking to Hannah about this, like services that would go very quickly in other places, people don't see the use for, and which is kind of a shame, because you probably know with the way social media is run and everything. Video, especially for businesses, because we're a business show, it hurts businesses when they don't put anything up, but like sometimes pictures, but typically not even that. They'll put up words, and so it's fun to see, like, because I'm trying to bring that to the area where people are like, hey, if you want to do well on social media, you start getting, get that highbrow, sunglasses freaking feel from like Miami or something, and start pushing that because you need that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow, totally off track here. So, being a creative, which is kind of where I group a lot of, like interior designers, things like that, where you're actually creating a lot of what you do. What goes into like your creative process? Because, as you said, you kind of get an idea for what their images of it, but then a lot of that is still you like pulling the pieces together and putting them together and stuff.
So I primarily work as a camera operator or director of photography. If I'm working as a camera operator, I usually work under the director of photography to see what his or her vision is, and then what the director's vision is. And then from that, I try and operate the camera in a way that fulfills that vision.
Yeah.
If I'm working as a director of photography, I work directly with the director to see what his or her vision is, and try and portray that through camera and lighting to try and make sure everything gets fulfilled by their vision.
All right. So usually
it's just communication, trying to figure out what the vision is and trying to replicate that in reality.
Yeah. So do you do a lot of I don't know if you do a lot of your own like directing and producing, or have you kind of moved into that yet? Or
I'm moving to that, but I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I'm in the process of writing some scripts, but right now I'm just working on clients or working with other filmmakers, getting some other stuff developed. Like right now I'm finishing up a web series down in Boston.
All right.
It's called Crossroads. Working with some good friends down there. I worked with them on another feature film back in 2015 called Confused by Love.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess moving into this field, because I like being a cinematographer and all that stuff. Like I love that. And it's a lot of fun bringing things to life. And what I was going to talk about was the creative process, because I guess as you move into like directing and producing, you'll deal with it a lot more, like creating a vision of something, which is always crazy because again, I always I always fall down this route, but with the exception of being professional, like when I'm drinking, I'm fine. Like I'm super creative and I have a lot of good ideas. But then normally I'm like, oh man, I can't think. It's probably from my army days. It's kind of a lag, but like, so that's just, it's a good area to talk about like how other creatives get creative and stuff. So, do you have any tips for that? Or?
Usually the good stories come when we're having fun.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time when I was in film school, we were planning on doing like a spec commercial on cars. On like, because we had to make a spec commercial on something.
Yeah.
And the teacher said just do a spec commercial on something, make it look good. And one of our friends in our class, he had a fancy Audi, so we were going to make a fancy car commercial.
Yeah.
And another friend of ours, he was a composer, so we were planning on making some fancy music, make a fancy car commercial, and in the process of like sitting down and doing the composing with my friend the composer, the music just sounded so different from a car commercial. I just said something like, that sounds like an orange juice commercial, and it just went off in some different direction, and we completely cut out the car commercial. We made an orange juice commercial.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta flow with whatever comes out.
Yeah.
You know, scrap the original idea. We got one here. Now, then you just gotta find an orange juice company to sell it to.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are some of your favorite projects to we worked on so far?
Some of my favorite projects. I worked on an action web series down in Florida called Two in the Chamber. Right now, we're in the process of editing that and trying to pitch that to some networks. But that one was really fun to film.
Yeah.
We had so many cool stunts on that one.
Yeah.
And there was another one we filmed up here in Boston last year. What was it called? Assassin Behind the Glass.
Okay.
We worked with Langston Fishburne, Lawrence Fishburne's son. And it was fun working with him and some of the other cast and crew on that set as well.
Cool. So, when is Two in the Chamber coming out? Because that sounds like it'd be kind of fun to check out.
Two in the Chamber, right now we're still in the process of editing it.
It to be a while.
Yeah, it could be a while because we only filmed the pilot episode to pitch to some networks and distributors here and there. So if it does get picked up, then we're going to start continuing to film the whole thing and all that stuff.
Well, whatever comes out, I'd like to see that because that sounds going to go. I'm all about guns. I love guns.
Yeah, same here.
So that's pretty good. What was I going to say? So I guess moving forward, what are we looking to do? Because you mentioned you're kind of getting into producing and things like that. And are you looking to do more of the big scale stuff like TV shows, or are you still going to do businesses? Like, kind of where are we looking to move?
I wanna help out, or I wanna work with the local community when I can.
Yeah.
Like I do wanna work with the local community, but I also wanna work like on big feature film productions. So while I'm here or while I'm working in this area, I do wanna work with some of the local businesses and either help them out or enhance what they got and all that stuff.
Cool. So let's say a little business comes up to you and is like, hey, I need your services. Like, where would we start this big extravagant, like, finding out what they need, finding out what they want, like, what was kind of the process?
Sit down with them, see what they're looking for, because I can't just give them a video on a platter or something like that. I have to kind of see what their message is, because I don't want to also give them the wrong message. If their pet grooming place needs a video, I don't want to talk about cars or orange juice or something.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure we say the right message and it goes along with their branding and with everything that they're going for.
Okay. So you kind of figure that out. You get the whole thing shot done, and then it just kind of do you typically just release on social media or?
No, I give it to the client because I don't want. I usually get everything approved by the client first.
Yeah.
Once everything gets approved, either I'll give it to them, or if with their permission, I'll put it up on social media as well.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those typically do pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a few like last year, and they do well. People like watching them, and it's just hard to find again companies that are willing to put the money down and pay for it, even though it's kind of required.
Yeah.
But they're just like, yeah, I can't afford it. I'm like, you can't afford not to. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I actually late last year, toward the fall or end of summer last year, I did a small video for the Salem Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, so
it's pretty good.
That was a fun one to work on because I got a chance to travel around the greater Salem area.
Yeah.
And throughout the 5 towns and see what they cover and do all this stuff. Film all this stuff and see all the nice stuff around there.
Yeah, I like that. I watched it this morning and as I was supposed to be sleeping, but I couldn't. So I was kind of checking out, and it's really good. I like that, and it's kind of fun to see like a professional spin on Salem, which is like old and kind of boring a little bit. Even I'm not gonna make fun of the town, but even some of they're like, yeah, play, and there's just like a bunch of old people like walking around. I'm like, but besides that, it was really really well done and
cool.
I think it's just kind of funny. Oh man, so I guess talking about businesses, like what type of businesses do you like working with?
I've worked with all kinds of businesses. I think everybody's good. It's just that situation that I mentioned earlier about negotiating this much and requesting this much.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I work with all kinds of businesses, and it just depends on the personalities. But I think everybody's good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, some people have preferences. Because I know I do a lot of. I can't even talk. You wouldn't think it, but I like working with gyms and health places, which is super contrary to how I look. But and also car dealers, I do that a lot. So that's kind of my specialties.
Nice.
So some people have things they like to work on. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I actually did a couple of videos for a friend of mine. He owns a martial arts studio down in Florida.
That's pretty cool.
And his kid used, I don't know if she's still number 1 in the world, but she used to be number 1 in the world. She might still be in children's kickboxing and karate.
Oh.
Yeah.
That must have been a fun little video.
Yeah, it was fun going with them to all the shows, seeing her do all the fights and getting the awards was fun.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. So, if you had to pick, which is your favorite place to work? You said you worked down in Florida and stuff, and that's nice. I mean,
so far, like, Boston is good for film. Atlanta is good. Miami's decent, but Florida cut the tax incentive for film. That's one of the reasons why I left Florida.
Oh
yeah. Los Angeles is good, but I think Los Angeles is good. They're starting to get the tax incentive back over there. Vancouver is good. I think any one of those places would be a good place for like a filmmaker or at least somebody that wants to do film.
Yeah. So I forget who I was talking to, but one of my last couple of interviews, we talked about the problem with New Hampshire, which I've seen, because we kind of talked about they have like it's old school, like we're old as hell here, but it's kind of like New Hampshire, Boston. At least Boston will pay for things, but New Hampshire, we have at least one school that puts out like video production type degrees. They put out those type of students, but there's not a whole lot of places to work.
Yeah.
So what you have is a lot of kids coming out of these programs who they all leave. They go to Boston, LA, wherever, trying to get work. And I think that's something we're missing out on because there's nothing here. So,
there is stuff here. Like if you go on to the New Hampshire Film Commission, you can get a directory of like all the different film companies on there, and I myself am listed over there as a crew member, and I'm also listed on there as a company.
Yeah.
But if whoever's seeing this, if they're looking for a place to work in New Hampshire, a lot of those places do good work. Like I've worked with a couple people in New Hampshire and in Massachusetts where they're so much more experienced. Like what was it? Last year, last year I went to the Berkshires in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And there's a guy over there that worked with Stanley Kubrick. He worked on 2001: Space Odyssey.
Nice.
He worked on The Shining, and he worked on all that stuff. I'm like, somebody like that lives over here in New England? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like just meeting people like that and knowing people like that live over here, that's a big opportunity for us in New England.
Yeah.
Just finding them and networking with them and seeing how we can learn from them or work with them.
Good. Because you were talking about networking earlier, and that is important. Like that's all I do for this. I network. So you said the New Hampshire Film Commission. Good, because I'll link that into everything. And
yeah, every state has a film commission. Like even though Florida cut out the tax incentive, Florida has a film commission. Well, I don't think it has an actual film commission, but Florida, in a way, it's messed up. Like how they always say on the news, oh, here's Florida again. But Orlando has its own film commission. Tampa has its own. Miami has its own. So it's a little different in Florida, but every state has its own film commission.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I'm just trying to help New Hampshire, because that's my biggest focus is changing this state around, because I don't care what the other ones, they can fix themselves, I'm very focused here.
Yep.
So what do you think some things we could do? I guess just personal opinion, like to kind of work on this state, at least in this industry. Like, what do you think we could do here? What does it need? It's a big question.
It's a good question, though.
Yeah.
I think we need to update a lot of the way we think over here, because like you said, over here everybody has like an old mindset where they're not really used to social media, or they're not embracing social media. And in a way, social media does help.
Yeah.
Like it's a big distraction, but it's also a big help if you know your limitations with it. So I think that would be a good start to go on, and understanding the value of what you're asking for. Yeah. That'll be another good thing.
All right. Yeah. Cool. I was literally just thinking of something, and I forgot what it was, but it was on this topic. Whatever, I'll think of it later. Because, I want to change the state around. I want to do things here, because when people leave, I want them to have, or not leave, but they finish at, was it UNH Manchester? There's this big film program there. I want them to have work here, because that'd be good. Because I can only imagine how some of the cool, going up into like the in the mountains, you probably shoot some cool movies out that way, but they don't. So it's stuff like that, it's things I'm thinking about in the back of my head as I'm supposed to be sleeping. But because I worry about things I shouldn't have to worry about, like how do I change New Hampshire completely around? It's just ridiculous. But I can't even think of anything else. So how do people get a hold of you?
Facebook, email, my website. My contact information is on my website. It's on my Facebook. If you want to find me on Facebook, just type in my whole name, Navid John Namazi, and you'll find me on Facebook.
Hey, cool, awesome. Because I'll link all that down, so they have somewhere to look for it and stuff, and also when they want to reach out, because my clients or my viewers better reach out, and change how we do things here in New Hampshire. Because I almost have it. Like we were talking about something old school, and it's like just sitting there in my mind. I'm like, I wanted to say something.
It's right behind the glass door, but you can't get it.
Yeah, it's like, it's right there. And because we were talking about old school thinking, and that's what it was. Okay, because I don't know. I run into so many businesses that when I'm talking to them, they're like, we just want to do things like word of mouth. I hear this all the time. Like, word of mouth. And I'm like, you can't do word of mouth because, one, you're not out talking to people every day. I can guarantee it. So you can't get word of mouth. You have no clients, so you can't get word of mouth because you have no clients to talk about you. So like, you kind of need to advertise. Like, word of mouth is great. It's super powerful when you do it right, but you need to advertise.
Yeah.
So,
if you network a lot, word of mouth is beneficial.
Yeah.
It helps out. But if you're stuck in your business, if you're working all day, like you said, you're not going out, you're not networking, word of mouth isn't beneficial to you at the moment. Let the social media be your word of mouth. Let the word go out. They come in, they learn about you, get the experience for whatever you do, and then they are your word of mouth.
Yeah, like one really, really good video is like all you need to really start pushing it. 30 seconds to a minute of, hey, this is the business, and that can be your word of mouth. Like, and that can be very, very beneficial to a business. But they skip on that. Like, I'll talk to that one dude and hope he remembers to pass it off. When I know the other 9,000 realtors in the state. So it's just one of those old-fashioned things that I'm like, if you want to keep up today, you really got to keep up and kind of be on that playing field with across, social media, because that's where everybody is, so just kind of a fun little thought I had.
That's good.
All right, cool. So is there anything else you want to talk about before we head on out? Anything you want to say?
I think I'm good. I know I'm going to be planning on producing and directing some a series of short films later on in the future, but right now I'm in the process of writing it down, like making a script and doing all that stuff. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, right now it's not ready yet, but hopefully in the future I'll have something ready.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
I'll have some opportunities for some of the New Hampshire people or New England people to come by, help out if they're willing to.
That'd be really cool. Talking about short scripts. I have a book, which is kind of funny. I wrote a book, and I've been like, how do I make a movie out of it? So we'll have to talk about this. Yeah. Because it'll be the next big thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. It always turns out that way.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, so thank you so much for being on the show today. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And as you grow, as I grow, we'll do this again, and we'll kind of check back in and be like, oh, look how far we've come in like a year.
Oh, look how many Oscars I got.
Yeah. That'd be great, like, look how awesome we are. Yay.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.